Um, so I would say while you want to teach him responsibility and all of that wonderful stuff, you also want to teach him empathy. You want to teach him emotional awareness as well, so that if there's something that's going on for him that he feels comfortable talking about it or raising it, or that you can model for him, just asking him about it. Like I noticed your face or your body or how you're walking. Does that mean that you're sad? Does that mean that you're angry? Are you feeling grouchy today? You can help him with the emotional language. Offer him options, and he can correctly say, "No, I'm not feeling grouchy. I'm just feeling kind of blue or whatever." So give him space for him to kind of share some of that. With regard to maintaining responsibility, I think it's fine for kids to continue a certain level of responsibility. But again, this is still a pandemic, right? Um, you have responsibilities, but recognizing that there has to be some room for some flex, some flex in the expectations. We can't keep things as stringent as they were. Uh, forgetting to uh, forgetting to wash the dishes in the grand scheme of things doesn't really switch up everything. If it's a continual thing, and we need to think of a new strategy. Okay, great. So we sit down and we talk about it. So you notice that for the last 3 times, it's not like an every time or always. That's never the case. For the last 3 times you had to wash the dishes, I had to remind you. Do you find it difficult to remember to do things that you have to do? And he can tell you yes or no. Okay, great. So we've tracked it down. You have difficulty remembering. What might help you remember? I don't know. What if we set up a chart? What if we have you set up your calendar on Google that says when your chores are supposed to go, and it rings on your phone to tell you that you have to wash your dishes at this time, or that you have to do this at this time. That's a very serious skill. It's scheduling. I have to pack up my schedule. If I don't pack my schedule every day, nothing gets done because I won't remember a thing. I'll do all kinds of other things before I remember what I was supposed to do. And that's a very important skill. When that kid gets into middle school, high school, he's going to have to learn how to schedule his different assignments. I have an assignment due in 3 days. I want to set up an appointment on my calendar on 2 days before, so you can pop up and tell me today I need to do this assignment for Wednesday. Right? So these are spaces where we have opportunities to teach specific skills. When I hear parents say things like, I shouldn't have to tell them over and over and over again. Well, the best way to learn is repetition. So if you have to keep telling your kid over and over and over again, just means that they've not learned it yet. And you can't fault them for not learning it, they just haven't learned it. That's just what it is. And so your job, it's not mine, is to tell them over and over and over and over again. So don't run away from it. That is your task, to tell him over and over again. And if it doesn't work, then find a different way of telling it. Telling is not always through words. Telling could be a new strategy, a new action plan, and include them in developing the action plan. It's not a thing that came on from high. I am telling you what you're going to do now. We discussed it. We put together a plan. That's what we agreed to. And we're putting it up somewhere for you to remember.
All right, that's very helpful. Thank you.
Welcome.
That's great. That's great. Dr. Thomas, you have time for one more question?
Yeah.
Is it time up?
No, I'm good.
All right, one more question. Puma.
Hey, Doc, thanks for being here. I appreciate your time. Real quick, you say you did some research on young brothers and fathers. I was curious to know if you did any research on the finances in fatherhood. Any research on how it affects fatherhood in regards to financing?
No, so I have not done. I know one of my colleagues who's now at Duke University is doing research on the wealth gap among Black families and trying to understand how to develop, how to encourage wealth development, especially for kids who are living college. Her name is Fenaba Addo, and I can put her name in here. You can look her up.
Thank you.
I know she is in New York every so often. I know she has family in New York. And just recently, a colleague and I, well, a few of us, put together a grant to try to poke holes in a state policy. I'm not sure if it happens in New York, but essentially it's a way that the state is able to take money out of Black fathers' pockets. So if you're not married to the mom and you have a kid, and the mom uses Medicaid to have the kid, then the state goes after you for a portion of the Medicaid cost. So it means that now you have this huge debt on your shoulders, and you have to pay child support, and you have everything else. So we're going in to do this research to show how, one, this is disproportionately affecting Black fathers, especially Black fathers who don't live in their homes. It's preventing them from engaging with their families and their children because of that significant financial burden, and that it is a significant, it has a significant impact on fertility and mortality rates for infants and mothers. Because a lot of mothers are saying, if this is what's going to happen to my child's father, I'm not coming in for these preemptive experiences, or I'm not going to use Medicaid, or I'm not going to use a particular service. So things like prenatal appointments, I'm going to miss some of those. And so I end up with a kid who has significant issues, or I might have significant mental health issues. So how do we get, one, create the evidence that says to the state, this practice is disproportionately affecting Black people, and two, it's causing death to children and women. And because of that, it needs to be stopped. And we want to see if we can do that in Wisconsin first. And then if it works in Wisconsin, use that same information to try to make that change across the country.
Thanks for that info. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.